Hello everyone. So welcome to today's training. So just give me a second. We are going to resume just a few. Okay. So this is a resumption of previous trainings. We have done quite some training before, and we are resuming with DHSA VSS certification. So I'm going to share a file. So at the moment we are at this point, we are going to do video intercom today. So we did transmission about 2 weeks ago on a Saturday. The reason last week we did not have training because there was quite some issues we needed to fix in this side. So the VSS certification, by the end, you're going to be equipped with the DHSA VSS certification, and what the training course for the certification is more of familiar with CCTV products, do HDCVI, and also find the issues about cameras, recorder, etc. At the moment, we are able to, at this point, you are able to do the certification. So the VSS was more focused on video surveillance, which the transmission and the other products that I trained you on before is not mentioned in that. So at this point, we'll begin arranging on when you guys should get certified, and maybe for the exam purposes and for cases like, majorly for exam purposes and certification, we're going to begin the processes from next week. So I'll release a schedule on how we are going to do the certification, because at this point, based on what you're supposed to cover, what you're supposed to learn, you've already covered this about CCTV knowledge, recorder, network, etc. So at this point, you should be able to do that. And from next week, we're going to release the schedule on how we're going to do the exam. So it will be practical and theory. And then at the same time, we're going to release the schedule. We'll be doing the practical training. So you see this lab. And what you need to do is about naming role. So this file is located in the website, and you can be checking what content will be set in the exam. Okay, just an overview of what we are doing. So I'll introduce myself. My name is Shelton. I'm from Technical Support Department at Dahua Technology. So we are a team, but I'm the one who will be handling cases of trainings and so and so. But I have my colleagues from the support team. So yeah, at the moment you are three or wait a number. So we had two new guys who will be assisting in the technical side and support for our products. So maybe this week I'm going to cover video intercom products and introduction. And then next week I'm going to begin on practicals. So from the practical side, we'll be doing the practical in phases. So I'll just communicate in the groups on how we will come for practicals, because we want to restrict a number. So after doing the practical now, then we will be doing the exam side. Okay, so in case of any question, you can ask or raise your hand. But at the moment, we're going to do video intercom products. So as much as the training is over, so if you continue with us on this learning path, the advantage is for other cases of exam like the HSSA, VSS. So we are covering bits and bits of about intelligent building system, parking management system. So you're covering bits and bits of this. So at the moment you already covered DHSA, VSS, and then there is this DHSA, DHSP. So the first one is associate, the other one is professional. And from the professional side, let me just share the screen with you. So the professional one is a bit different than SA. So the professional is a bit core of surveillance. Like cases like people counting, facial recognition, perimeter, system training. So we'll organize the exam, and if you're comfortable, you can do the HSA one and HSP one. So based on how comfortable you are, but we'll be doing also practicals on the same for this. Okay, now I'm going to take you through the intercom products. Sorry, we'll be doing access control products. Sorry, because the intercom products document has an issue. So we'll cover access control products in this training for today. Then I'll make communication on the same about the examination case and how you're going to begin the practical trainings, so that we can do certification for the DHSA VSS. So predicting is about after 2-3 sessions, we're going to do exams. So you can be doing, you can be sharpening on the training, because all the videos are available YouTube. So I upload all the videos to the YouTube. So the link is in the groups. We'll be doing access control products for our training today. So the access control product is focused on the products which we as a company are handling, and so we're not going to deal with third-party ones. So by the end of the training, we should be able to know about basics of access control, conventional systems of access control, and so different types of access control, including all-in-one systems, and also entrance and barrier. So at this point, maybe if you notice, we are a bit covering of DHSP, parking management system, PMS. So bit by bit. So for those who don't know about access control, they are focused on system on managing who goes into somewhere or not. So if we check for this case, the working principle is that you basically restrict who accesses certain doors. So access control is focused on doors, basically. So the same way you have a physical guard on a gate to check on doors, the same way that you'll have access control systems, so automation. So you can see from the animation, you get accessed when the person swiped a card or used a password. So through a reader connected to access control systems, it should be able to identify the person. So the cards that usually swipe on the readers have RFID identification, so it's radio frequency identification or biometrics. So the verification of the person or allowing the person to go will be handled by the controller, which is the core part of the access control systems, and does the verification and authorization for the personnel. Unlocking the door is through an electric lock, and we'll check. We have different types of electric locks. Mohammed, you can maybe you can put in the chat section. Just type it in the chat section, then I'll address the issue as I present. So the system architecture for access control is like this. if you have interacted before with access control, you would see that this is basically how it's wired. Like you have a lock here. This one is magnetic lock. So if you're having a magnetic lock and an exit button and a reader at the door, then the controller is somewhere maybe in the machine room. We have options for alarm systems integrated into the access control, and then there is the management at the platform. So this one at the middle one is the access control, 1204. So most likely it's 1204B. So okay, the controller function is the core of the system. So it's just something easy. The software is can be either smart PCS, DSS. So it's used for the management for the personnel and revoking and allowing and giving grants to access in the system. So, as a company, these are some of the products that we produce as for access control systems. So from different designs, and also in terms of readers, we have different kinds of readers. We have even facial recognition access control terminals. We have turnstiles. So different access control systems. So for various cases, we have turnstiles at etc. For all-in-one system. So all-in-one system, these are access control that work as a reader at the same time it's working as an access control. The cases also for controllers, etc. The naming convention, like any other products that we have done before in training. So we always have a naming convention on our system so that if you have a product or maybe you're doing a suggestion, it's easier for you to identify a product based on functionality, or even by checking the name, you'll be able to know what capabilities this product has. So for access controllers, we have, it begins with the DH. So these are brand. AS. AS is access control. So it can either be a reader, a controller, integrated, or a module. So we have two series, 1 or 2. Communication, this is in terms of if you're connecting. So you can do a weekend or an RS-45 and a weekend at the same time. So depending on, if you want to connect third-party controllers to our system, you typically use a weekend reader. The control type can either be a card or a password, or if it's a B, it supports card, password, and fingerprint. If it's an A, it supports card or password and card. Appearances, there's a metal, there's a waterproof, then there's plastic. For card type, so the common type of card that is available in the market also is the IC card. So D, if it's a D, it supports the IC card. Also, we have the cases for Bluetooth access control systems. So these are reader. Then for controller cases, the naming rule for controller is more of the same, but in terms of those, now we have different supports for now. Yes, for the slides, they will be available later. I'll just send the link to the documents, then you'll be able to check them. So for access controller, we have different control for different doors. We have even up to 8 door controllers. That is the controller can connect to 8 maglocks. And also there's cases for one-way, two-way. So at times people get a problem identifying what's the difference between one-way and a two-way access controller. So for a one-way case controller, maybe just for this case, for one-way controller, if you're doing verification, you're going to do just verification on one side. So just do verification or swipe card on one side. If you want to go out, you use exit button. But if you're doing a two-way controller, so either way, you need to do verification. So you have readers at both sides. So that's the difference between a one-way and a two-way. So you get to know which security scenarios need two-way and which one needs one-way. So in terms of master and slave, these are when you're doing cascade systems, that is, you're having multiple access control systems. If there are many, you connect them together, then one becomes a master and a slave. So the naming will show which one is which is which. An integrated access controller has a reader, and at the same time it is a controller. So the common one that's available in Kenya is 1212D. So I think this information you can be checking by yourself, but basically just know integrated combines, it's a standalone access control. As part of access control systems, we have time attendances that act as access control and time attendance system. So for this case, we have a different time attendance systems, even those supporting the face recognition access time attendance systems. For turnstiles, different kinds of turnstiles. Also, you can be checking by yourself, and for the DHSA VSS certification, there's no requirement to know about this. But as you progress with the certification from Dahua, there's some key elements that you'll be able to know. Just for this case, and just have it know the basics part of naming rule. So controllers, maybe we go through the different kinds of controllers that we have. So for access controller 1202 CD, all this. So one-way and two-way systems. So you can say, I think that the major difference between this access control is more of how many cards it can support, how many logs it can do, and also cases like two-way and one-way, and also the number of doors. So basically that's what the difference is. But for these types of controllers, the 12 ones, so these black ones, they have access to web interface. So you can access web interface for this case, but these other ones you cannot do web interface, which means you can do P2P with this, but not P2P with this. Readers, just maybe to mention, different kinds of readers. So we also have even a P67 readers to protect water. And also Bluetooth readers. So for an all-in-one terminal, maybe you can check in the system, this is integrated. So rather than having a controller and a reader in one point, so you have a controller which also acts as a reader. So different categories for all-in-one terminals that we offer. So all-in-one are IaaS integrated. So you can see also features like P2P. So some support, some don't support. Also have those with the Wi-Fi capabilities. So eliminating the cases for wires and etc. And you also have for facial recognition terminals, supporting even up to 10,000, 100,000 faces and 10,000 fingerprints. So I think this is just basics for access control. If you maybe are having issues, then you can inquire. but I think it's something that it's easy to understand. So connecting, you have these ones are just a door contact and a sensor at this point. Then you have mag lock at this also at this point. So for access control sides, for cases like swing barriers, tripod barriers, for applications cases like in airports and maybe bus stations and railway station, you can have such access control systems. So you even have cases of even supporting even 5 to million DC brushes serve motor. So that's for access control. Basically, it's not that hard. Maybe you can ask, if you have a question, you can ask in terms of cases like wiring and so if you need to know about wiring of it, you can if you have maybe any question regarding to access control system, because for the training, these are just some of the materials required. For configuration part, it will be in another session. Maybe you can cover access control installation. Maybe you can just do a configuration for access control system, how it's configured. So as per the documentation, if you want to do installation and configuration for access control systems, exit is unavoidable. Axmed, can you maybe elaborate on the exit is an unavoidable part? So maybe I'll mute you so that maybe you can contribute